This project was coordinated through an organization called Chingu, which hosts 6-week remote team projects. Our team consisted of 4 developers, and our task was to complete a fully responsive meal scheduling app within 6 1-week sprints. The goal was to use front end languages, tools, and libraries of preference to develop a fully responsive, single page application to facilitate weekly menu scheduling that is user friendly, accessible, and visually appealing. Minimum functionality criteria included allowing managers the ability to schedule menus from a set of unique dishes for an upcoming week, provide dish details, and the ability to filter for allergens. Since our team had different schedules, we used Discord for communication through messaging and voice chats. We used the Agile methodology to manage our project, which included updating each other with daily stand ups, describing the work we had done, and next steps for the project. The coding was completed through paired programming with 2 to 4 developers per session. Throughout the project, Trello was used to organize tasks that needed to be done, were being worked on, and were completed. Unfortunately, our team didn't have a UI designer. Instead, our developers created a responsive design ourselves using Miro, a collaborative whiteboarding platform, to brainstorm. We would meet 5 times a week for multiple hours per session to pair program. We used 2 extensions called Live Share and Live Preview, which allowed us to work in real time and see the site's preview in real time. Our team used Get and GitHub for version control and sharing our code.
We decided to use HTML, CSS, and JavaScript to build this menu planner. Our main section consists of the allergen section, the selection button, the menu section, and the footer. For our CSS, we split it into 3 documents for each media query. We set it up so that the calendar content would reorganize depending on the screen size. In the beginning, we had some repetitive code in our CSS. So during refactoring process, we created more classes for the commonly used CSS properties in our HTML. This helped us decrease the length and repetition, making our code more efficient. For our JavaScript files are split into 3 files: the util.js, main.js, and arrays.js file. Util.js includes the functions that create the menu for the week. It pulls from our arrays.js file, which stores the information for dishes and allergies in an array. Variables were set up to store the present date, store the user selected allergens, and store the user selected start date. The generate random dishes function selects random dishes while avoiding allergens. It uses a while loop that will keep picking dishes until either all the dishes for the week are included or there aren't any more meals to check. Visited dishes is an array that prevents duplicate selection from generating. The food has allergens variable checks if any of the food ingredients are present in the user selected allergens. The generate weekly food function loop through 7 days using a for loop, beginning with the selected start date, that is the user peak start date. The create weekly structure function generates the menu UI by creating a list element for each day of the week, adding a div for the day name, and iterating through the dishes ingredient using for each method to create individual list elements. Then it adds all the meal information into a div called bubble for styling.
In main.js, user allergies is an array to store the user selected allergies. The user picked start date determines what day of the week the user selected start date is. Calendar start date picker is the date selector. We set it up so that past days are unavailable, in accordance to the project criteria. UL Allergies renders checkboxes for each allergy. When a user selects or deselects an allergy, user allergies gets updated. Clicking the Generate Menu button will turn on the Handle Generate Menu Button Click function. This will select random dishes while avoiding allergens, then generate a weekly menu plan starting from the selected day. Lastly, a fade-in animation was added to the meal bubbles. We used Netify to deploy the live app. If we were to expand on this app, we would like to add a feature that lets managers share the menu with people. Reflecting on this team experience, our biggest strengths were our consistency in showing up, offering help to each other, and creating an environment that supports constructive feedback. Given the deadline and the short sprints, having a team that was very communicative and eager to help one another were the biggest factors in our team being able to get this far.